Hi, I'm Jennifer Goodman with Good Life Luxury and the Modern Home Tour Austin. I am here today with our founder and CEO, Krisstina Wise. Krisstina, welcome.
How fun to be here.
I know. Can you believe it's been 10 years since you decided that Austin needed a modern home tour?
I cannot believe it's been 10 years. I mean, where does the time go? And if you would have asked me how long Modern Home Tour's been going, I might maybe said 5. So the fact it's been 10 is really hard to believe.
It's incredible. So when you started the Modern Home Tour, what was in your head?
It's funny how we get used to things. Remember when the iPhone, for example, was so novel and new and nobody had it, nobody knew what it was, and now it's just normal. You don't even think about it. In fact, if you have a minute without your iPhone, you're lost. It's interesting how innovations happen and then we get used to them and it's as though it's always been that way. So funny enough with Modern Home Tour, it doesn't sound that amazing actually, because when you look across Austin, modern's everywhere. And it's as though it's always been that way. But 10 years ago, when I started the Modern Home Tour, modern wasn't in Austin. There was not modern architecture at all, except there were a few innovative architects that were really into sustainability, really did love the Austin culture that was a little bit more about innovation, a little bit off the grid, being a little bit different and weird, and that were really into some of the green elements and these new innovations coming. What would happen is they'd redo a house or they'll either rebuild a house that would be modern or take an older house and add modern elements to it, and they would get picketed.
Wow.
So at the time, Austin didn't want modern. It wanted to keep its, craftsman style downtown, and it wanted to keep its hill country traditional homes here, maybe out in the hill country Westlake area. So what had happened at the time is that the architects, the only place that for the most part they were brave enough to go to build modern was on the east side. And at that time, I just moved my office to the east side. So I bought a building and remodeled the house, and remodeled the place and made it very modern. So it was one of the first more modern buildings on the east side even. So I just was a lover of modern. I was a lover of sustainability. I really did love the green elements coming in. I love the environment. I love innovation and all these different pieces. And I just saw that it was missing. And I hated the idea that these architects, which were great architects and were thought leaders and were really courageous to go out there and try to do something different and kind of, puncture that status quo. I thought, well, what if we bring modern to Austin so that at least Austinites could experience and learn. We can make it educational. So let's do a tour. Let's take the 6 modern houses at Austin at a time. And I reached out to those architects and I said, hey, what if we do a small tour and we do just a little bit of marketing, maybe get the newspaper at the time involved, and let's just invite Austin to experience modern. And the architects loved it, my original group. And we thought, maybe 20 people would come, but we had almost 500 people that first time. And I thought, wow, who knew? So we did another one and then we doubled it. So then we thought, wow, maybe we're onto something here. Austin does want to learn and know about this, but they just didn't know. So I really do now, modern's trending across the country and across the world, but I do believe that the Austin Modern Home Tour was a big part of bringing the modern lifestyle, modern life, modern architecture, just modernism more to Austin, that we had a piece of that.
So you brought up a lot of things there, and one of them is sort of the evolution. And when you look at Austin now and the proliferation of modern, it's starting to become the norm. And at the same time, we still do, as Austin, keep things weird and have the traditional effects. So with that in mind and what you're seeing, and when you're seeing all these houses and we're out and about for real estate, how have you seen the evolution of modern? Because it's not the same today as it was when it first started. Everything was boxy, but it seems like there's even more advancement now.
Well, I think modern, as opposed to when we thought of modern, originally especially, it was more of the sustainable green elements. It was the modern architecture. I think historically people thought of modern as very cold. And with the evolution of modern, what we've seen is it warm up a little bit. So there's been bringing the warm into modern, that it feels very warm and comfortable and family oriented, and as opposed to what I think the ideas, or even what modern was before. But modern now is beyond the architecture and beyond bringing the green and these sustainable elements. It really was the big innovation at the time. And it's more about bringing in different efficiencies and technologies. So one of the things I really love about modern now is all the new tech available in the smart homes, where you really can, like my pool here, I can totally turn on my pool, turn on my hot tub, turn on the lights from my phone. I can lock my doors from my phone. I can turn on my Nest AC and heat from my phone. I can turn on my security system and look at everything from my phone. So, and with appliances, there's, it would have been energy efficiency would be what we talked about before, but now it's really the smart homes and the technology, and it adds a different element of living,
right?
The technology piece. So I really love the tech. And then another piece that I see happening a lot, and especially our friend Laura Britt really brings this in, is what we call the healthy home.
Right.
And so I love the technology, and then this healthy home piece, as opposed to green, like protect the environment, now this is protect ourselves, protect our family. And by the healthy home, what people still, I think, don't realize is in construction, it's toxic. Paints are toxic. The glues in the floors are toxic. Most of the construction, the drywall is just set up for mold with the smallest of leak, which is toxic. Now, this next part of modern, I really want to help educate. Before we're educating modern for architecture and a different type of lifestyle. Now I want to educate modern as far as understanding where our homes need to be healthy. We're in these containers. We need to, we're breathing. What is the air we're breathing? So that we're aware that if we're remodeling or building, we're maybe more cognizant or more aware or more thoughtful, because we do have an awareness of being able to make better choices, smart choices about our homes being healthy.
That has been a big topic of discussion with you and with me and Laura, and how we live our lives every day and what those considerations are. So, we're sitting here in your home, which was on the Modern Home Tour. Let's talk about maybe a bit of background for people who don't even know your story. But let's talk about this house and all of the elements that you've put into it as a modern, healthy home.
Well, because I did get so sick a few years back, I had to be very careful when it came to any sort of chemicals. So I've had, my diet has to be clean, and that was very obvious that, clean food, organic food, and so many of us are eating clean foods, and we are very organic, and we're paying attention to different ways to be healthy. Mm-hmm. But most people still don't know that, like I said, that our houses are toxic. Mm-hmm. And so for me, with this house, because I nearly died of, chemical poisoning, that I have to, and because I have a weak immune system, when it comes to chemicals, I had to actually, be very thoughtful and careful. So when we built this, so in building this house, remodeling this house, I learned a lot about healthy homes. And, my favorite store in Austin is the Treehouse,
Love that.
Because that's just such a great store for anyone. Go to Treehouse if you haven't been, because you can learn everything. They really do the blend of the healthy home and the technology, the smart home,
Sure they do.
At the same time. But I just learned, so my walls are clay walls with natural pigments and, and dyes instead of chemicals in colorings. The floors are natural hardwoods. They have no glues. They have no
coating, nothing.
Yeah, coating, anything that would be chemical. All the tiles are handmade tiles that didn't come out of a factory, but were very carefully designed. And I don't know, everything, all the paint that we do have, of course, is no VOC, and you can't get 100%, but every selection was carefully, thoughtfully, any place that we could, we made sure we had natural choices.
So with that in mind, and what we have been talking about, we are seeing, with all the architects that I've been talking to and watching, that they're talking net zero right now. They're talking healthier products, just like what you're doing in your home. And really what they're doing is they, as professionals, are now making it available to people in Austin where people may not otherwise know that you go to, your local big box store and you think you're getting a great deal on flooring, or you think you're getting a great deal on tiles and all of this. And so we're seeing, again, Austin, you being an innovator, these thought leaders that we have and architects, they too are starting to bring this forward. So the question then becomes is it more expensive to put in all these healthy things, or is it more expensive to get sick?
Yeah, I mean, everything has a price, and we all have choice, and, we all get to make choices. For me, the choice was given to me that, yeah, it was more expensive. I don't know how much more, but to have a healthy home, an environment where my air is clean and I'm not breathing in those things, where I spend a majority of my time, why wouldn't I make the investment in the materials in my home as opposed to maybe getting a brand new car or whatever the case is? So life is a choice. We all choose. And again, we spend most of our time in our house. And so for me, the reasoning is if we want healthy lives, healthy bodies, healthy families, healthy relationships, our environments have to be healthy. It just has to be. So for me, it was a priority. And we were talking offline this morning that even in this house, it's like, I cut some budget pieces here and I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's like, okay, I'm not going to put warm heaters in my floors, bathroom floors, because it's 30 degrees outside and my bathroom's freezing, so it's all tile. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have put in the heater coils underneath my tile floors, and I'd have a nice warm bathroom. But when I made a choice, is it clay walls or heaters in my floors?
Sure.
And everything in life is a trade-off. And it's okay, I'm going to go with the clay walls that are more expensive than just throwing up paint. Mm-hmm. And maybe sometime in the future, I'll have the nice, warm, luxurious heaters on my bathroom floors, right?
Right. So with the healthy home, what else do you see as opportunity going forward? Like, where do you envision the modern home and the modern home tour even going in the future? What's happening?
Well, I think now that it's funny when we're calling modern home tour, we called modern home tour, like I said at the beginning, because modern was such a novelty. Now it's pretty much the standard, as you just pointed out. So yeah, I think that's a really great question, is where do we take the modern home tour? And that'd be a question to, everybody that comes and everybody watching or listening is, I'd be curious, like, what do you think is the next evolution of modern? What do you think of when you think modern as opposed to just architecture? So I like to think of it as modern lives. And what is this next evolution or iteration of the modern life? And as we're moving into more technology, I think that's going to continue to be part of modern. And I'd like to see the modern home tour really demonstrate some of the latest in tech and smart homes and what's on the edge, because modern's always been what's on the edge, what's coming. I always love new design, like what's coming out in some of the new, I don't like design trends per se, but innovation in design. And I see what we're coming back to as opposed to a lot of just homogenous, big box, or just things off a shelf. I'm seeing more craftsmanship. Craftsmanship's coming back. So I think where we tried to, historically we went to the big boxes, we bought the tile, we bought the floors, we bought whatever, and it was just off the shelf, maybe made in China, wherever. I think where we're going is, and we lost the appreciation for craftsmanship, for artistry in building, because we're trying to cut costs and, do that sort of thing. So that's what I see. I see bringing in different artists, craftsmen that actually care about their craft, care about their trade. So I have an appreciation for that already, but I think I do see that's where we're headed, is again, this appreciation for craftsmanship, artisanship, people that actually give a damn about their work, and they're just not cutting corners and trying to get the job done in and out. So, and that to me is love and passion. So it's like bringing the love and passion back into our houses that maybe has been lost by trying to cut corners or these chaotic, crazy worlds and, save money or that sort of thing. And then, we've already talked about it, is continuing to learn how to be healthy. I'm all about health and health for our body health, like health, the food that we eat, how we take care of our farms, how we take care of nature. So since I almost died, I'm way into physical health. But I believe that our environments are so important to our overall health is beyond just food and exercise. And since our homes are our environments, is how do we make our environments healthy, that I think will lend to healthier relationships and just overall healthy modern lives.
I love that. And what I'm excited about is we're going to be exploring more of that in this upcoming year through Good Life Luxury, and you will be seeing it on the Modern Home Tour with the architects that I've spoken to, the level of design, the level of the artisanship. Is that a word? Sure it is. It is now.
It is now.
Is so incredible to see, even just from 3 years ago, what was on the tour to now and today, and the materials that they're using and the consideration for the space. Is going to be a great tour. So on behalf of Krisstina and myself, we look forward to seeing you at the 10th Annual Modern Home Tour in February.
For all of you that have come before or maybe come every single year, I'm just so grateful. Again, this was just a random idea a decade ago. Again, can't believe it's a decade. So thanks to everyone that's been part of this, has followed the tour, that's had the equal passion, and thanks to all the architects and everybody that's made this possible. Again, I just can't even believe it's been 10 years, and I can't believe it's still here and it keeps going. So anyway, please come out. We're so excited. This is going to be our best year ever, because it is. We're going to blow out because it's our 10th anniversary, and maybe we'll do this again 10 years from now.
All right, looking forward to it.